Okay, we'll bring the meeting to session. We'll begin with the invocation. Pastor Doug Valentin with the Faith Community Center of Belleville.
Thank you. This is the second time I've been here, and I consider it a privilege and an honor to be before you guys. I back the blue, and I respect the township, and I respect the laws of the land, and I just, like everybody, celebrate 250 years of living in America, a free country. So as I go before the Lord in prayer and before you guys, I'm just going to pray for God's wisdom and his speed, because you guys cover a lot of different angles, a lot of different laws and bylaws, and I'm just going to pray right now that God would bless you, Father. We thank you right now for this group of people. From the top to the bottom, I pray your blessings over them. Give them wisdom, give them knowledge. We pray that everything they do is for the good of the people, good of the land, good of the community, good of the township. And we give you the praise and glory for this free country that we still live in. And everybody said, amen.
Amen.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor.
Thanks be to God.
Okay, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Doing the workshop.
Yeah, we
Chair,
did
are we going to bypass the,
workshop.
okay, I think we need to take a vote on that because we made it as part of the meeting.
Okay,
To be able to do that.
We need a motion and support.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
No.
No.
Motion carried. Okay, so, presentation, 25 years of volunteer service for Christine Wodurski.
I'd like to thank the board, especially Trustee Addy, for letting us take a few minutes to honor a very special lady. We have a lot of volunteers, wonderful volunteers throughout the community, and especially at the senior center. I couldn't do it without them. But for over 25 years, Christine has been there every day, 9 o'clock, 9:05, getting Meals on Wheels all ready for the homebound, always with a smile. And we appreciate you, we miss you. And I'm proud of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Christine. Okay,
Chair,
roll.
Chair, I'd like to make a recommendation that we look at our volunteer program over there and have some type of, whether it's a resolution or a program, that how we honor, the volunteers, whether it's at 10 years or 15, at regular intervals, as we go along, because I think it's important to recognize the volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers over there that have been at it for a long time, and
Right.
Recognition from the township to their contributions, I think, goes a long way to showing them how much we appreciate it, even if it's just a thank you.
Okay.
If I could follow up on that, I know down at the fire hall, when you walk in the foyer there's a plaque on the wall that has volunteers' service time on it, for however many years that they were a volunteer firefighter. So maybe something like that.
Yep, and we may have something that we already do, but I'd like to see it revisited, make sure it's, robust enough, and anything else that we need to add to it.
You know which one I'm talking about, Marion? I believe your name's on it. It should be. It should be.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll go with roll call. Bowman here, Laporte.
Here.
Patterson excused. Oddie.
Here.
Rush.
Here.
Fraser.
Here.
And Honey.
Here.
Okay, public comment. Kristen McCray.
Hi, everyone. I'm practicing my civic duty by trying to stay informed about public issues, respecting the rights and opinions of others, and participating in public meetings. Some civic duties are required by law, like paying taxes or serving on a jury. Others are responsibilities of good citizenship, like voting, being informed, or helping your community. Civic duty is important because democracy depends on people taking part. If citizens do not vote, follow laws, or hold leaders accountable, the government may not represent the people well. People in public office are public servants. Their authority exists to serve and protect the people and not to gain personal power or privilege. Checks and balances keep power from being concentrated in one place and help make government more fair, accountable, and stable. While you all may not agree with my concern with approving TJ Bowman as deputy supervisor, that's okay. I'm just expressing my concerns. We all have our own opinions and we're all just performing our civil duty. I've only been attending and watching these board meetings for a few months, but I have witnessed several things of concern. I care deeply about the township and genuinely want to see it succeed. My intention is not to come across as confrontational or disrespectful. I simply believe it is important to ask thoughtful questions, stay engaged, and be a good steward of the community we all share. My goal is to support transparency, accountability, and decisions that serve the best interest of the township and its residents.
Okay, Sammy.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the owner of Sammy and Services on Savage Road, 17450 Savage Road. I was working on an older lady AC today. By shocking, I seen an ordinance officer stepped in my shop and asking me, handed me a letter that he said that Joe required him to go and talk to me regarding them cars outside, that I'm running a used car lot and displaying cars outside for sale. I said, okay, Pete, I'm gonna take that letter and go to Joe. I came to Joe and I told Joe, how many times I came here to your office and asked you to direct me in the right way, what should I do, what's the next step? He goes, we're waiting on Hennessy. So while Pete was in my office, he called Ahmed from Hennessy, put him on the phone. He goes, well, we need another revised plan site for that address because he has a problem with his neighbor regarding the entrance of the driveway because she's allowed to go in his driveway. I said, no, this is not what the issue. The issue was about the fence, asphalt, and landscaping. So now they want me another revised plan, another engineer plan, after I resubmitted the survey. Joe said, I don't have the survey. I gave him the survey 3 months ago, and I gave it to Ken. I don't know if Ken's still working at this township or not. So now he need another survey, need another site plan, so I can operate my business. I mean, it's hard for me to see an ordinance officer drive all the way down Sumpter Road with all them businesses parking on the dirt, on the gravel, no business license, no permit, nothing, and comes all the way to New Boston, by New Boston, to look at 6-car park. Some of them not for sale, they're displayed outside, no sign, some of them for the customer. Now, I beg you, the board, please, I need be directed the way, what should I do next? I don't like to be approached. I'd like to receive a letter from the planning commission that we need to do something about it, not approach by an official and get embarrassed in front of my customer. Because I'm not running chop chop, I'm not stealing, I'm running an official business. So the customers start looking when he's doing illegal. That's sad. I almost cried. I put $500,000 in that property. I just did talk to the chief. He said he was directed to go to see me. But I came to Joe. He said, Joe, I did not send him. Even though Pete told me that Joe sent him. But I just talked to the chief, and he said he was directed to go to your site. I should have called the chief. I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to call him, ask him about the situation before I come to the board meeting. So now, after I put out that money, I got approved by the board, by the planning commission. After 5 times coming here, 20 times to see Joe, still I'm in the same spot. Nowhere to go. Ahmed said that I need another revised plan. But I don't have anything official in my hand that would tells me what to do. So I'm laying my case in front of you to tell me what's next, what I have to do.
Chair, I'd recommend that we ask Chief to get with Joe and have a meeting with the attorney, and
I think
I
you're all-
agree, I don't know what you've been provided, but I mean, there should be something in writing that he was given.
But I
to
asked
do
him
this.
5 times.
Hold on, Sam. And that's what I'm asking them to do, so that it's official. There's whatever the township correspondence is, it should be in writing. It may be in writing, maybe you didn't get it, Sammy, I don't know. But I'm asking that we schedule a meeting and, get this worked out and figure out A, B, C, and D that he needs to do to get the business going. I mean, these are things that I've been asking about, Sammy, for a couple of months as to where we're at to get it up.
Yeah, but
and
I
running.
figure you told me I can put a fence in the front because I don't have to put the pavement in the back because I have asphalt in the front. I think you mentioned it to me. You said, okay, if you can lock your parking lot in the front, no access for anybody to come in and out with the fence because you have asphalt in the front, we can bypass that pavement in the back.
I think we should probably have that meeting, and that wasn't what I said, Sammy. I said you could put the fence up front so you didn't have to move the cars to the back.
Could be
But
correct.
the back was part of your
I
plan. and
misunderstood
I'm on the
probably.
planning commission, so your plan was to park your customer cars that were for repair in the back. That's what required the asphalt. But I mean, those are all things that need to be kind of
But-
rehashed with what was approved by the planning commission and approved by the board, and give you a list so you know A, B, and C, what you have to accomplish in what order to get it done, because it has been going on too long.
Honestly, I've been coming to Joe multiple times. I asked him, I said, oh, I haven't received anything from Hennessy. I mean, the guy is a perfect guy. He's a very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then I see all the business, they have a gravel parking lot. I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, all the business, probably I'm just being picked on. I don't know.
That I can assure you not, Sammy, because we've been talking about all the businesses that are going in and their gravel and their
Yeah.
areas that need to be asphalt.
It's driving me crazy and taking a toll on me, honestly. I got so embarrassed in front of my customer today.
Well, we've got the request, we're gonna make it happen so that you have
Thank
something
you.
in
We'll
writing.
make it happen, Sam.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, and I don't commit this to memory, what day is Joe here?
Tuesdays.
Is
And-
it just,
I think it's
just Tuesdays? That's it?
Yeah.
Well, then why don't you schedule it for, just set it for next Tuesday. Well, I don't know. Are you in town, chief?
Don't need to be here. Mr. Nasser was given a list of things from Joe Pizzati that have not been fulfilled in order for him to be approved for what he's doing. He was given that email, a list, by our ordinance officer earlier today. There was no confusion. The ordinance officer even went above and beyond calling Hennessy Engineering because Mr. Nasser claimed that Hennessy had done the work for him and completed everything. The main engineer for Hennessy, I forget his name, but he's been in front of us before, on the phone during with the phone on speaker, said that was not the case. Mr. Nasser had not done what he was supposed to do in order to comply with what the board had decided.
And that may be absolutely true, but this is something that I have not kept up on, and if I'm hearing correctly, they wanna have a meeting. So I wanna schedule it now so we don't get into one of those deals. And I can be here next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. I assume Mr. Pizzati's in by that time?
He's in at 8:30.
8:30, okay. Can you make next Tuesday? Well, just say 9 o'clock. And then whether I can get Hennessy here, I don't know, but I can at least get Ahmad on the phone. And then Chief, you don't have to be here if you.
I could be here. My dates were off. I will be back.
Okay. So next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, and the new conference room here at the Township Hall, okay? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Get some use out of it.
Somebody's got to use it.
Okay. So we'll move on. I'm assuming we need a motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
Chair, I'll make that a motion to approve the agenda, adding a special closed session with the Sumpter Township Board of Trustees pursuant to MCL 15268C, E, and H. First item is exemption 15268C, updates and discussions regarding negotiations with the COAM and AFSME and reviewing strategy and related matters. The second item is exemption under exemption 15268E to discuss strategy and update to pending litigation with Sumpter Township versus Republic. And the third item is exemption 15268H to discuss matters that are privileged as to attorney-client communications. And tabling item A.
Removing it until it comes
Removing
back.
it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll revise it to removing it.
Removing item F, yeah.
Chair.
I'll support it.
Chair,
Yeah, unfinished business
we
item A.
also might want to consider item F, a slight word change from Township Hall woman's restroom to woman's and men's restroom.
Chair, I'll make the amendment to that, to my motion to change item F to say Township Hall women's and men's restroom stalls.
And I'll support that as well.
Okay, and so, what do we wanna do about this one? We wanna,
It's been, if you approve this, that's removed.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, and then you got that other change on
Okay. All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Okay, moving on to the minutes. Approved minutes from June 23rd, 2026, regular board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Approved warrants of $571,648.72.
So moved with a roll call vote.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay?
Roll call.
Gotcha, now.
Roll call.
Okay, so, Adi,
No.
okay. Patterson excused. Bowman, yes. Patterson excused. Rush,
Can we still have some discussion? I'd like to know Matt's, trustee Adi's reason for that.
Well, one, trustee Rush, I don't have to provide a reason, but
Well, I
if you're
mean-
asking, there was a few items on there that I wanted to get some additional information on that I didn't have a time to do that. So I voted no on it.
Okay. I'm just curious. You might have saw something that we missed.
okay. So let's start the roll call over. Adi, no. Laporte,
No.
Patterson excused. Rush,
No.
Frazier,
No.
Honey,
No.
Bowman, no. Okay, so I'm moving on here. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so we're at the supervisor's report. Motion to receive and file.
Chair, if I may, what are we receiving and filing? There's nothing in our board pack. I'm just curious.
Can we take the word and sign and approve this?
We're on the supervisor's report, correct?
Friends?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you say receive and file,
the supervisor's report.
but
Again,
there,
I didn't make.
we don't have a report in our board pack, so maybe
I
we
know.
should just say, you've got nothing this week.
We got nothing.
There we go. I'm just curious.
How about Rob? You got nothing too?
I haven't had a lot in a long time. Okay.
Attorney's report.
Oh, we
Wait,
got attorney's
you gotta vote.
Okay,
Are you gonna bring it back?
I have nothing.
Chair,
Do I have a support and a motion and support for that?
for the supervisors and the attorney's report?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll make that motion and somebody will support
I'll
it.
support it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Moving on. Attorney's
Chair-
report. Yeah.
Chair, if I could revisit my motion on or the motion on the warrants and ask that we approve the utilities only that we have in there, and then we can, if there's any questions on the other things, we can dig that up before the next meeting.
We have Blue Care, I'm just looking.
Yeah,
at-
any
we have
utilities,
we have a
rents,
lot of, like,
yeah.
normal, like, Blue Care
Yeah, the
Network.
insurance, utilities,
Right.
yeah, rents.
So you're gonna change that?
I'm asking too if the board would be willing to consider that.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Support.
So if you did, like the medical, whatever's owed to the medical facilities, there's there's life insurance.
Yep.
There is some software, BSNA, or that can wait.
The BSNA, I didn't have an issue with.
Okay, the dental obligation,
Yeah, I think-
Electric,
I think the.
energy.
Yeah, I think the medical insurances and stuff kind of blankets everything.
Okay, that looks like that covers most of it. I mean, at least what those kind of bills are get taken care of. Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion in support for that.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. And Rob, attorney's report?
I still have nothing.
You still? That's what I,
No, I mean, that's okay. We have a lot of things going on, but that's okay.
finance report?
Make a motion, receive and file it.
Support.
All in favor?
Can we have some discussion? Included in the board pack was something brand new, many pages. I talked to several board members, it was completely Greek to me. I don't know how we can get a better definition of what all that was for the finances, but it's the first time in my tenure that I've seen something that detailed. None of it made any sense to me.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. What it looked like to me was the print, the way it printed, the accounts printed, but it wasn't enough room on the sheet of paper to print the amount, so the amounts printed on a separate sheet, so it just split the print. It didn't include the amounts for each line item on the same page, and it rolled over to the next page.
Should have been landscape instead of portrait, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
So we have a motion in support to receive and file F.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Police and ordinance report, Chief Luke?
Supervisor, if you'll allow me, I'll.
No, we've had enough
Do
of
I
that
have a
already.
motion to,
I'll make a
receive and
motion,
file?
receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. My turn. Building report. Do I have
Make a motion, receive and file.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Fire report, Chief Good.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the fire report.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried.
It was extensive this time, Chief Goody.
Good thing Ron wasn't here, because he would get up and talk for an hour when he.
Okay. Board response?
Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Yeah, just, next meeting will be my Parks and Rec report, but I just wanted to say thank you to the fire department, police department, DPW, and definitely all the volunteers of Parks and Rec. Crazy summer jam. Me and Chief Luke had to basically shut it down at around 6 o'clock due to severe weather. Fortunately, it cleared out. We restarted at 7, and the show went on without a hitch. Again, wouldn't have been possible without the volunteers, and to all of you, thank you.
And
Back to you, Chair.
And Chair, if I could add on, and for anybody that didn't attend or didn't see, we parked that field and we jammed the cars in. I mean, we parked some cars in there,
And thank you for that,
yeah,
Matt.
people were still rolling in at 10 o'clock, and we were, the DPW workers and everybody, we were finding spots for people and making it
Yeah,
happen.
it had a really good turnout after
Yep.
that storm went through. That was-
Yeah, we
that was
estimate at least 500-plus people.
awesome. That's awesome.
So, I'd like to bring up something, if I may. Mine's not all unicorns and sunshine, so. I'm having some issues with invoices coming in, and I'd like to do a little stand-down training with all the department heads. Last August, we approved a purchasing policy, and I don't think that everybody completely understands how that works and the proper procedure and protocol for when you want to purchase something. So I'd like to ask for a moratorium on all spending until we can get department heads through some training. Also I'm doing a account review of all the township's open accounts with various businesses, and I'm gonna put a hold on them until we understand the proper use of them. This will be with the exception of police and fire for public safety. There's certain things that we need when we need it, and we can't have a board meeting just to get fuel approved or something like that. But it's nothing serious. We're getting inundated with invoices coming in from different angles, and I just want to get better at, as a township municipality, I'd like to get better as a group, collectively, how we get organized and submit our invoices and how they get processed through the treasurer's office. I'd ask Ashley in the treasurer's office from accounts payable to help with that training, along with Karen Armadas and the deputy clerk. The training will be put on by both the treasurer's office and the clerk's office combined, because where you have to submit an invoice to my office, Bart has to pay it on his side of the aisle. So I think we're just getting a little too loose with how we're doing business. And I think comes a time to, this isn't bad news, but before it gets bad, I want to get things reeled in, get things on the right track before things get out of control. And the last thing I want to do is sit up here and say that something horrible had happened with our community's money. So nothing has happened to it, and we want to stop anything like that from happening. So I think it's best practice that we do a quick stand down, we do a quick training on it, and make sure everybody's on the same page with how we spend money and what the expectations are.
When you say a quick stand down, what are you talking about?
Saying we get department heads in the room and we walk them through the proper procedure on how to purchase something and where the paperwork, how it travels and flows through the township.
Is this we went to the BSNA cloud. Is this because of the lack of training before we went into that cloud? Because I heard that Ashley wasn't able to process invoices that came into the office because she had no idea of how the BSNA cloud worked.
I mean, obviously there's going to be some training lag, moving from one system to, even though they're both BSNA, one's network, the other one's the cloud. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some lag there, but I don't think it'll be that great. This more along the line pertains to, so if you pick 5 people out in this room and all 5 of them have a different invoice for the same thing or same event, and they just keep handing them in, and invoices come in from 5 different people, it's hard to keep track. What was this one for? What was this one for? So I think collectively, we need one point of contact, right? And this is just one instance. I'm not throwing stones at people here. Everybody's working hard to put on good events and do the right thing. And I don't want to be the buzzkill on it, but I want to be able to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. So when we get audited, yeah, I can pull out one folder. Here's everything. Everything looks great. Because ultimately, we are doing the right things. We just got to get on the straight and narrow. That's
So when you
all.
talk about training, Don, for this, what you're talking about, who knows what to do? Are you the one that's gonna?
Ashley knows how to do it. Karen
Ashley was
Armadas knows how
when
to
she
do it.
got a bunch of receipts,
We have
Ashley doesn't know.
BSNA will come in and help us with that, yes.
Okay, BSNA will come in and help us.
Yep, Chair, if I could add to it, because I had the same question, and I asked it as to why we couldn't cut a check. And the training did occur, but they were waiting to the first live run of warrants to have BSNA come in with our staff and do a live run training, so that we didn't have a staff member doing their first run without BSNA there. So they had scheduled that training to happen after tonight, actually, to have the warrants that were approved move through that system. So that's my understanding of what the issue was with the checks cutting. Now, to follow up on yours, I agree, when we had passed that policy, the PO policy last August, I don't believe the directors and the people who use that policy were brought together and trained, and that's really what should happen. Maybe it happened, I'm not aware of it,
No,
but.
they were not
Yeah.
trained, and that's where I reached out to some of the department heads, and they were not aware of what the policy was.
And that's something
So-
that, you know, we have to ensure as the management of the township that we have in place, that when those policies get changed, that they follow through and bring the employees in, train each one. I mean, really, each one should sign for that policy that they got it and they were trained on it. If they have any questions, they know who to come and talk to. That's just basic training, so I don't think that fully happened, and so I think, you know, getting them in and retraining them is appropriate, you know, for the ones that, you know,
So-
may not know.
To back up with the supervisor's question on the check is, yeah, there was a check request, a check run request done, but it was for 2 checks. And with our training allotment moving over to this new software, they incorporated that fee that we paid to move to the cloud, a training session on how to do this, right? So if we would have done those 2 checks, that would have qualified as our training session. Whereas if we would have waited till tonight's warrants, we would have been doing, let's say, 200 checks. You know what I mean? It'd been a lot bigger volume, a lot more repetition on the ladies in the office to learn it. As opposed to just doing 2 and then now 2 weeks later, good luck.
Yep.
Hope you remembered everything you just went through twice. Not 200 times, just twice.
Right.
So, I mean, that was some of the holdup initially, right? So it was really bad timing all the way around. I mean, but, you know, I mean, we got through it, right? I mean, things went off really well, and I still think that we are moving in the right direction. We just have to get people, our people, trained correctly.
When you talk about freezing spending, though, you know, we got Family Day coming up, or what, you know, what's gonna happen with that?
Well, they just, again, we just gotta
Parks
get,
and
you know, I'm not trying to inhibit anything, I'm just trying to, let's press the pause button, let's do a quick training, we're gonna break this down on, this is, if you wanna buy A, this is what you have to do. Is it budgeted, is it unbudgeted? There's gonna be 2 different avenues for trying to buy something, that's one for budget, one for unbudgeted things. I mean, this is, you know, the rest of the world does this every single day. I mean, and we should be doing this without a hitch. And when our department heads aren't really sure what direction they should be moving in, I mean, that's a problem. So I think we gotta get that shored up real quick. I have full
Sure.
confidence that we're gonna move on just fine.
Chair,
Yeah.
if I may, Don, when you set this meeting up as liaison to Parks and Rec, because what I'm hearing, all these receipts coming in, it's probably been a lot of them for the summer jam, which we're within budget, but I get what you're saying, so can you please include me in that meeting so I can convey this information
Oh,
to Parks and
absolutely,
Rec?
absolutely, you could sit down with it. You could sit down with
And myself.
Anita, yeah.
Any idea when that training starts?
Yeah, when are we gonna do, any idea when you wanna do that?
It'll be pretty soon. I don't have a schedule or a map in front of me yet. I mean, I've been kicking this around for 3-4 days in my head, trying to find the best tactical way to bring this up without making people look bad, because they're not. I mean, people are doing the right things, right? So we gotta get to where we're crossing the Ts and dotting the Is, and everything's a nice, tight, neat package.
Go ahead, Anita.
I have this question for you. Okay, so Family Fun Day is Saturday, okay? On Saturday, the bounce house people will be coming, I have to write a personal check for $575.
See, and that, in a sense, is a problem. I mean, you shouldn't have to write personal checks for anything.
How else
I
am I
mean,
gonna do it?
you need to plan them well ahead of time and have the check in your hand, so when they get here, you can hand it to them.
Well, I went to Julie when this happened, because the people don't, accept, credit cards or anything, and she said that was the only way that we could get that bounce house, was if I wrote a personal check. And, you know, and of course, there was no taxes, so it wasn't a concern.
Yeah, I mean, that's got all kinds of alarms written all over it for me. A, they gotta have a W-9 turned in, they have to have their insurance turned in, right?
We've done that.
And then we should be able to write them a check. It's for services rendered. If they're submitting a W-9, they should be able to get a check issued to them.
Yeah, she said no, and how long, this was a long time ago, but we can't plant a bounce house and, you know.
But it can happen.
It was months.
It can happen. So when you submit
We're
your
not
W,
paying out Christmas
And
parties.
we're going with this company
We
because
have
they
to
are
check
so
ready.
much cheaper than the other companies.
so Anita, when you submit your W-9 and the insurance over, just have them, like, if it's a deposit for it, have them do the invoice.
They wouldn't take it.
They only submit a partial invoice for the 575 for us to.
No, I have
Yeah,
to
she gets on fire.
but it's
Right.
all or nothing. They said
They get
they
paid.
want to check it.
That's very true, yeah.
Yeah, so if it's the 575, that invoice can go into a warrant, so you can put it into, and that would have been, like, essentially, in a perfect world, would have been approved tonight. And if it was included into those warrants, and that check would have been cut tomorrow, and that would have been by townships,
As the insurance company told me no, so I only know what people tell me.
I understand.
And the other-
And we have had a little turnover with people here. I mean, and
And the other thing is, like tomorrow, we have to go shopping, we have to buy some things for this event. So, and, you know, I just handed in a bunch of receipts from the last event, and I know that caused a cluster, just because I had so many of them. But if I'm gonna have to pay for all this stuff tomorrow, then how long is it gonna be before I get reimbursed? Because $575 is a lot of money.
Why is it so, what would be so difficult about Tim as the liaison for Parks and Recs, to have a credit card with $5,000 credit on it? When these people need something for an event or something, they don't have to go through this whole check thing, a receipt thing or nothing. They go to Tim, and he's got a limit on his credit card. Anita needs, whatever for Family Day. They put it on Tim's credit card. It's a done deal.
Yep, and we get a
It's
statement of
caused-
everything, it's there on one.
Eliminates so much
Yep.
confusion, and, you know,
it's right here. I don't make those rules. The board makes those rules.
well, let's, I have a motion, okay, since we're on this subject. I want a motion and, hopefully support to issue Tim Rush, the liaison of Parks and Rec, with a credit card, a township credit card, with the, limit of $5,000.
I'll support that.
Do I have a motion in support?
You made the motion.
I made the motion, so we'll do a roll call vote. Addie?
Since we're on discussion, I think that should happen after the training, because, you know, there's things that are being purchased that are not
Matt, you
budgeted.
don't need training to issue somebody a credit card.
But
I'm sure
you
Tim
need
has.
training on somebody to use it, because we're having expenses that are being purchased outside of the budget, that are not
Wait a
budgeted.
minute, Chair, if I may. Matt, that is untrue. We have established budgets for every event.
Tim, I don't want,
And
if you want me
we're-
to bring this up publicly, I will, but that insurance that we paid for the thing was not budgeted. It was an
Yeah.
unbudgeted item.
I'm saying for miscellaneous
It
purchases.
doesn't matter. I'm bringing up an instance where unbudgeted items are being purchased, and you're telling me they're not. They are. So I want to make sure if we're going to issue this credit card, everybody is properly trained.
What kind of training, Matt, does it take for, to issue somebody a credit card? He has a
It's a
limit
training on how to
on it,
use
okay?
it. It's a training on how to use it, Supervisor Bowman. If he doesn't know how to use the expense now, how is he gonna know how to use it when he gets a credit card? If you're making
If it's
expenses now.
budgeted, if it's approved by the board, okay,
Yes.
which that wasn't, I agree, I
Yeah.
agree with you. But, you know, going forward, if it's approved by the board, if the event is approved for,
No issue, I just wanted to make sure the training was gonna happen, because we have instances, the reason it's being brought up is Mr. Laporte is seeing these instances happening, and we're trying to get it under control.
yeah,
So-
okay, so, with the exception that Tim goes to whatever training, he doesn't need training for BSNA. and
No,
be in-
it's
in
just
the
the
cloud.
PO policy and how to purchase on the credit card.
Okay, so Tim's a smart guy, he should be able to, you know, who's
I
gonna
agree.
who's gonna train him? Is he, you just gonna give him a sheet of paper and say, follow these rules? Is that-
That's what the PO policy is.
Okay.
But we haven't been able to seem to follow it.
Is when Tim gets this piece of paper with the rules on
Yeah.
it, reads it, comprehends it, then issue the man a credit card, so all this other stuff, all
Tim,
these.
I can agree
it
with
would
that. That's
solve
all
so
all I
many-
want, is to make sure that everybody who receives it is properly trained. And the reason Mr. Laporte is bringing this up is because people have not been properly trained, and we have things going on that should not be happening.
I agree. But if you agree that it's a matter of a document that Tim needs to
I
read
absolutely
and
agree.
comprehend and agree that, to the board that he understands this and that, that's.
Absolutely, call for the vote.
Yeah, and Chair.
Okay with the
Chair, if I
card with
can-
some training.
Chair, if I can make one more comment, just so it's clear to the public, we're not talking taxpayer funds here.
Right.
Parks and Rec has been in the black for over a decade. There's money in the bank. Our sponsorship letters have gone out. We've gotten over $20,000 in sponsorship money just over the last few weeks. So this is not taxpayer money we're talking about. I just want to make sure the public is clear on that. Back to you, Chair.
Yeah.
Chair, just to be clear, it is taxpayer money because the Parks and Rec is not an individual entity. They're not a nonprofit. They're not voted in. All that money goes into the general fund, which can be used for anything at this township, not just for Parks and Rec. We have to be clear on what our funds are and where they are. People make donations and we separate it for Parks and Rec, but that's a general fund item. We do not have a separate Parks and Rec entity that can millage or go out and do fundraisers and have their own account that the township can't use. This money is general fund money, period.
Why
So,
is it?
but what I think he's talking about, though, it was not generated through taxes. It was generated
Exactly.
through what the old Parks and Rec made, and now
I understand.
from donations that are being given in. So it is not actual taxpayer money that we're taking and turning it into that. Yes, it's in there with all the other money, but it is not taxpayer money that we are using like that.
Right.
It is out of the Parks and Rec money that had been, like he said, been there for quite a while. It's not new money that's been taxed in and now we're using it.
That is correct.
Chair,
You're right.
Chair, if I may, Chief Good, you might want to step outside. We've got a fire truck and I noticed something smoldering out there. Okay, just want to make sure.
Somebody out there smoldering?
Cigarette, is smoking.
Okay, so with that understanding, we have a motion and support.
You
We'll
absolutely
do a
do.
roll call vote. Mr. Roddy?
Yes.
Mr. Fraser?
Yes.
Supervisor Bowman, yes. Laporte?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
Honey?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, Chair, since we're still on board response, can I follow my response after Mr. Laporte's?
Yeah, man.
It actually follows in because, as the public is seeing, there's questions and there's things that need to be addressed. And there's been some things that have been going on the last few months, and I know members of this board have heard the term micromanaging, stay in your lane, talking, administrators that are no longer here using those terms, and I want to make it clear so that everybody understands. As elected officials, that's our job. As a trustee of this community, elected, my job is to ask those questions and make sure that I'm a fiduciary of this community, that the money is spent correctly, that things happen correctly, and that it takes questions to make sure of that. And if you don't ask any questions, you'll never know if there's something's being done right. And so when we see things that are not being done exactly the way that the policy says, we have to make those questions and answers, and we have to get those things done. Everything is in our lane in this community. Anything that the clerk is doing, he has statutory responsibilities, but it's our job on this board to make sure he's doing them. Just like it's the treasurer, our job to make sure the treasurer is doing them. So everything in this community is in our lane. And so I just wanted to say that because I've been hearing this for months now, that the board needs to stay in their lane, they need to not get involved in things, they need to trust, people, which we do, but it's also a thing called trust but verify. And it seems like when, we verify, we find out some things maybe aren't going completely correct. And we need to get them corrected, and that's what we're doing. And, to say that we're micromanaging, to ask a question about something the board has authorized, what the status of it is, and be, told that, well, you're kind of micromanaging, I don't see it that way. I see it that we are being a fiduciary of the township residents' money and ensuring that what we have directed to get done is getting done. And you can't find that out if you don't ask some questions.
Chair, Trustee Addy, I back you up 100% on that, because in the MTA handbook, the red book, we are all responsible for the fiduciary health of the township, period. And I couldn't agree more with what you just said.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, so we can move on now?
Wait a minute, I have some.
Only for you, Rob. Okay, so we'll go on to B, okay? Consider approval of the collective bargaining agreement with Sumpter Township Command Officers Association of Michigan from 4/1/2026 through 9/30/2030.
Chair, I'll make a motion to take that off the agenda as we have discussions in closed session tonight that
Okay.
were pertinent to that item.
I'll support that, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. Moving on to new business. Consider approval to appoint TJ Bowman as the Deputy Supervisor effective July 14th, 2026 at the same pay rate.
So moved.
All in favor?
I didn't hear support yet.
Oh, I support it.
Chair,
So, do a
now
roll
now
call
that we
vote.
have that open for discussion, can we understand, is this to do statutory responsibilities? What are gonna be the responsibilities?
Yeah,
Just statutory?
yeah.
Okay.
The same thing that Mr. Russ was doing.
Well, I just wanna make sure that I've gone on the record on every single one that has been, I don't think we need a deputy when we went to the township manager. I've made that clear with Mr. Rush that, I don't think we needed him as a deputy. But I've also gone on the record when we had, Mr. Hoffman, when he appointed his daughter, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with Jim Clark appointing his wife. I didn't agree with Don. I mean, they're picking people who they trust and that they are good capabilities, but I don't like the relationship issues, because if something happens, the whole department is shut down, right? That's the whole idea of a deputy, as it states, is to only be in the office in the absence of the elected official. So, it's statutory duties, the way that the law states, and that's the law, I'm not making, this up or wordsmithing, the law says that in the absence of the elected official, the deputy acts on their behalf.
Yeah.
But other than that, the deputy has no authority to act. If you both are in the same room, or Don and his daughter in the same room, technically, Don is the authority. He should be acting. If you are in the office, your deputy should not be in the office, because it's only in your absence that the deputy would be doing the statutory duties. So I want to make sure, we're clear.
So what you're saying is that Don and his daughter are never in the office at the same time?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in his case, the treasurer and the clerk are mandatory deputies. The supervisor's office is the only one that's not mandatory by state law. But the way that the law reads is that it only comes in if you are absent, that's when TJ could act. But if you're here, there would be no reason for TJ to be here, because he's only to act in your absence. When it comes to the treasurer and the clerk, it's mandated by law that they have a deputy in the office to do the duties.
So it was all right for Mr. Russ to do that when he was my deputy, but not my son?
I just went on the record, I told you, I've been, talked to you how many times about not having Tim as a deputy for multiple reasons, but I have been on the record that I don't think we need a deputy when we have a township manager.
Well, that's your.
It's my opinion, that's why I'm
That's your opinion,
providing,
so
yeah.
we'll have a roll call vote.
Can I interject? Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead.
If somebody,
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Tim, I just need some clarification on this. What type of hours can we expect?
What type of
And
hours did you put in,
nobody's
Tim?
brought up the Conference of Western Wayne, because I'm certainly
I
not.
have talked to you about the Western Wayne conferences.
people
Tim,
haven't heard.
Okay?
They
All
have-
right,
the
so
rest
let's
of the
talk
board
about it.
hasn't.
TJ is very capable of doing exactly what you do, okay? He is very capable of going to those meetings at the Western Wayne meetings, okay? There's no difference with you going and him going, okay? There's no big difference, okay? He can do the exact same thing you did. I mean, you know, he's gonna be new to everything, just like everybody in this building that came to work for this township. Everybody that came to work for this township has gone through training. There's nobody come in this township that I know of that didn't have to go through training, when they came here. Everybody has. Name one person that hasn't.
Chair, and that's why I asked about the duties, because the going to that meeting is not a statutory duty. That's why it has to be clear.
But going to that meeting by Tim going to that meeting,
He was doing that as
we
a
get our
trustee.
911 money from that, Karen, by attending that meeting? That's not reason enough to go?
Let me, can I?
Go ahead.
Look, you guys, this is why I wanna get in, 'cause we just gotta straighten this thing out. Mr. Adi's correct about this. That is, a deputy that's appointed is doing statutory duties. Your statutory duties, those are the things that you're mandated by law to do since 1963, that hasn't changed. The same with the clerk, the same with the treasurer when he's here. Those statutory duties are listed. Yours are, you're the acceptor of legal documents, you're in charge of the budget, you're in charge of the board of review. Those are the statutory duties. Obviously, those duties have expanded exponentially over the years. So when you're asked, is your deputy gonna do statutory duties? If your answer is yes, then your statutory duties are those three that I just listed. I might be forgetting one, but those are the three that would be performed by him in your absence. When you say things like he's gonna go to the conference of Western Wayne, then I assume, I can't read your mind, but I assume what you're expecting from your deputy is to do more than just those statutory duties. And if that's the case, then you gotta have an agreement, because Matt's idea is if it's statutory, and somebody else's idea if it's more than statutory, then we'll be right back at this in 2 weeks. So let's get it straight.
And Rob, yeah, and that's why I'm asking the
I
question.
know, that's why
Tim,
you're
is-
trying to
is
straighten it out.
Because the relationship that you've had with Tim hasn't been clear. We haven't been, as a board,
Well, it
we
was
don't
more
know.
than statutory
It
duties.
was more. He's a trustee, he's also was acting as the deputy. It was unclear what he was performing as statutory duties for you, because he's only supposed to act in your absence. So if you're here to sign documents, he doesn't need to be here to sign documents. And, you know, I had an issue in, you know, it's nothing personal, but paying him to be around to sign documents that you're already signing. We were paying him a salary to be here in case you were absent. Well, you're not rarely absent, so why would we continue to pay a salary for somebody that's only supposed to be here in your absence? Only to act on your behalf when you're not here? That's my question, so that's why we need to be clear on it. Is it, what are we asking?
You gotta explain what you want, what you're expecting to have done.
Yeah.
Are you expecting the same thing that Tim did? Are you expecting more? Are you expecting less? I mean,
I'm
there has
expecting
to
the
be an
same thing
agreement.
Tim was doing. When I wasn't here, Tim would sign documents, okay? But I want TJ to do more. I want him to do more for the township, okay? If it's going to these Wayne County meetings and trying to better the township, keep the township informed, like Tim was doing, then yes.
And Tim, and that's, you know, exactly what we need to know. I mean, that's, we don't have a complete list here, but, you know, that's why we have a township manager. Most other communities send their township manager, they even send their police chief, their fire chief, their assistant managers to those meetings. That's who you see when you go there. You don't see the other people showing up or just bringing somebody on to send them to a meeting. So I just want to be clear where we're at and what we're doing, because I don't want it to be unclear down the road.
And Chair, the other thing is, reason I brought up hours, to get his pay, you know, he's gonna be punching a clock when he's here. So, you know, we've gotta have something.
Did you punch a clock, Tim? Did you punch a clock?
I'm an elected official. It's totally different.
Okay.
Every other deputy punches a clock. because they're not elected. That's not apples to apples.
Okay.
Chair, I just want to get some clarification, just so it's on the record, what is the pay rate for the deputy? I mean, it says.
$8,200.
So
A year.
8,200 a year, just so that's on the record, that way the public knows.
Mm-hmm, okay. Yeah. So again,
So in your mind, what is it that you're expecting your deputy to do? Is it to do everything that you direct him to do?
absolutely.
Or ask him to, I mean, I'm
And-
trying to get this so that then the board can know what they're voting yes to or no to. If it's strictly as stated by Mr. Adi, there's not much to do.
Is he gonna be voting, or is he gonna be working as a deputy plus?
Yeah,
Okay, that's a good way of putting it.
yeah.
Deputy plus means statutory duties plus whatever you tell him to do.
Exactly,
Understand
It's
this,
a
though.
definition defined by the state of Michigan's deputy plus,
okay.
which would give him entitlement to employment in the case that he is not needed as a deputy anymore.
Which then if it becomes deputy plus, it's the oversight of the board is to pay and also to ensure that he's doing what you're directing him to do and doing a good job. Because if it doesn't turn out to be that way, they can change it back to just deputy statutory or constitutional duties. So that's why I'm trying to get it straight. I'm not
Okay,
trying
so
to
If he's
tell you
a
what to
deputy plus,
do
if he's a deputy plus, he reports to the board.
as to issues beyond the statutory
Yes.
issues.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I have no problem with that, I'm sure he doesn't either. Okay, so that's what we'll vote on.
Do you need more than that?
No, I mean, I think that's clear. I mean, originally it was just statutory. It sounds
I
like
know.
now it's morphed into deputy plus, and now we have to deal with, are we bound to give him any other benefits that other deputies receive?
No. Because
Can I
it's not a
ask-
full-time job, it's a.
Did Don just say though, that if his job went away, the township is obligated to then hire him? Did you just say that?
Not obligated,
Not
Well,
obligated.
what did he say?
Obligated, but can.
can, yeah.
Oh, can, not okay,
Right.
okay.
Yeah,
Look,
Which we can do with anybody.
it's a difficult concept, okay? It's a more, like, right
No,
word.
you gotta
chose.
understand, I
Yeah.
thought I heard him say obligated.
Yeah.
I
Not
may
can.
have, I may have
Can's big-
misspoke. I may have.
Can's big difference, that's the only reason I brought it up.
Right.
And that's why it needs to be clear, because when you read the law, when it's statutory, it says only in your absence. So if you're here, you're not absent, and that's why it makes it very difficult to administer if you don't know exactly what the position is.
Chair, do I need to amend my motion then to retitle it as Deputy Plus?
You can do that. We all understand what that means.
Well, then I would like to amend my motion to consider approval of appoint TJ Bowman as Deputy Supervisor Plus effective July 14th, 2026, at the same pay rate of $8,200 a year.
and I support that. So we'll go with a roll call vote. Matt,
I gotta stay with my thing, I don't think we need a deputy with the township manager, Tim. So I gotta vote no.
Jim,
Yes.
myself, yes. Don,
No.
Tim,
Can I vote present? Yes.
John,
I'm gonna vote no.
3 yeses, 3 nos, motion fails.
3 yeses and 3 noes and what?
The motion fails, you're gonna have a majority.
Wow. Wow. I'm gonna excuse myself from the meeting. Tim, you're the chair.
I think the board has to, if you're gonna excuse yourself, the board has to make a motion for that, for me to be the chair.
Chair, before you leave, I just wanna make clear, you can still make TJ your deputy, we then have to deal with pay and what his duties are. Doesn't restrict you from making him your deputy. The only thing we're deciding is benefits and pay.
So you make him my deputy and don't pay him anything, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying we need to work that piece of it out.
Or what are you gonna give him? Let's work it out right now.
that's where, I'm just telling you, that's where the option is. Not that he can't be your deputy. I'm not in favor of deputy. I've said that on the record many times since we've gotten a township manager.
I'm done. I'm out of here. You deal with it. I'll make a motion to chair the meeting, the rest of the meeting.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's that?
You're opposed?
No.
You asked?
What?
It was yes all the way across.
Was it?
Yeah. Okay, item B, consider approval to accept the non-duty disability retirement of Liz Yeager, effective immediately.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. C, consider approval to adopt the zoning compliance form and the fee scheduling reflecting the zoning compliance fee.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor? Discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Consider approval of Ken Martin's final separation PTO vacation payout of $5,679.78.
So moved.
Support.
With a roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote. Let's see here. Bowman excused. Laporte?
Yes.
Patterson excused. Adi?
Yes.
Rush, yes. Frazier?
Yes.
And Honey.
Yes.
Motion carried. Consider approval to accept the Clemens Authority Resolution and Agreement.
So moved.
Support.
Now that we have discussion on that, Rob, I'm assuming you've read that colossal agreement. I went through it and it looked like a lot of boilerplate, but
It is, the only difference, and that's why I got through about 25% of it, and I called the chief and I said, this looks like the old one. He says, it's exactly the old one, it's just we're moving away from Oakland County to a new organization that is consisting of all of the parties or all the departments. And then I just quickly went through and skimmed it in relation to the other document, and it's identical.
okay.
It's actually now run by the agency.
Yes, I read that. I was going through it, but it was about that thick, and so I started getting through the boilerplate, and I was like, okay, this is just mostly boilerplate. It's, you know, all
It'll
this
put you
and-
to sleep.
Yes, so. I'm all done with my questions, Chair.
Okay, is that it for discussion?
Yeah, call it.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. F, consider approval to replace the Township Hall women's and men's restroom stalls with the awarded $8,600 from the former township cleaners.
So moved.
Support.
All in-
Discussion.
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
So this is something that their cleaners, that clean the township hall here, they inadvertently damaged the partitions in the restrooms, and the insurance company from the cleaners are the ones that awarded the money to get these replaced, just so the public's aware of it. But you can call for the question if you like.
Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. G, consider approval of Mr. Brian Messer application for his annual private fireworks display located at his residence at 41005 Judd Road, Belleville, Michigan, on July 18th, 2026, at approximately 10 p.m.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion, concerns? And Chief Good, Chief Luke, we'll probably, I'll be with Brian that day. I'll give you two a call for a go or no-go, depending on weather. There's probably gonna be some storms in the area, so we might have to make a call on it. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, announcements. Any announcements from anybody? Audience, board?
Chair, I think you brought up a good point earlier about donations you received from certain individuals or businesses for Parks and Rec, I think you ought to take the opportunity to acknowledge those donors since they were pretty substantial.
Very generous.
20 grand.
Yeah, that was Brian Moon, Diversified, I think, who else was it, Anita? JT, yeah, that was a good one. Atchison Ford. And Cabela's, actually Cabela's, they went beyond the Call of Duty. They're sponsoring the fishing derby every year now.
Yep.
That's
So,
awesome.
And Honey Pest Control.
yeah, and Honey Pest Control.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good point, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hats off to those good people for donating for programs like that. And I think you can see that they're really, really good, showing up at that summer jam, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
That was really nice. I mean, I could see that only getting bigger and bigger each year as the word starts getting out more and more.
Yeah, and by the way.
To it too.
Yeah, by the way, too, the fireworks for later on this October at the October Jam will be put on by Brian Messer and the Michigan Fireworks Club. So it'll be a little bit better. And he's already committed to the Summer Jam and the October Jam next year, too. So more details to follow. Go ahead.
So, Chair, since you brought that up, I'm gonna bring this up. I think as a Parks and Rec department, we need to be a little bit better at planning, especially when it comes to insurances per se. Obviously, we ran into.
That came out of the blue, Joe.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we need to be better at planning that, because these are things that we should know ahead of time, because I know you guys work long and hard planning that summer.
Oh,
camp.
yeah.
You know, and that's just something that slipped through the cracks that we can't allow to slip through the cracks,
Well-
because that was a substantial amount of money to put out.
Well, looking forward, if we know we're gonna have these budgeted events, we can get that into our rider right out of the gate for our
Right, and
annual
that's what I'm saying, we
premiums.
just gotta plan a little bit
Yeah.
better.
We won't have special meetings and stuff like that.
Next year will be different, and so will the insurance for the October Jam, because the Michigan Fireworks Club, which Brian is the most prominent member, they've got their own insurance.
Right.
So, yeah, it becomes basically a non-issue at that point. Any other announcements? What's that?
I'm making,
Yeah, okay. 19, we,
Make a motion to go into closed session.
for the report.
sure, go ahead, Anita.
Today's Casey's birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
Six.
Yeah, 3 times over. Right.
25.
Yeah.
Born in a leap year? Were you?
Exactly.
All right, so the
Okay,
motion
so
was to
there's,
go in closed
yeah,
session.
closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268 C, E, and H,
Right. As stated in the agenda.
as stated in the agenda. All those in favor?
Well, roll call, please.
Roll call.
What are we down to?
Bowman, excused. Laporte.
Yes.
Patterson, excused. Addy.
Yes.
Rush, yes. Frazier.
Yes.
Honey.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you for everyone coming tonight.
Hear me standing up.
Okay, can I have a motion to come in from, back in from closed session?
Motion to come back in from closed session.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Give the person that's taking the minutes a second.
And
Gotta get her paper ready.
I'll make a motion that we direct our attorney to
To do what we
proceed
told him to
with
do.
the discussions in closed session.
Support.
All in favor?
We have,
We have,
got
we have motion.
support? Second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn?
Support.
Second?
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are officially